Hey folks, wanted to do another quick video on the cold starts for Mercedes diesel. The last one I did was kind of crappy, so I thought I'd remake it. Um, this is being made on my smartphone, and it's a not so smart smartphone, so you'll have to forgive the audio quality and the video quality. It's going to be shaky, and you'll probably have to turn the volume up wide open to hear it. I'll try to talk a little bit louder than normal, which is pretty easy for me. I have a 1984 Mercedes 300D turbo diesel. Pretty much stock. I've done a few little things to it. Normally I run this on waste vegetable oil, straight waste vegetable oil. I have run it off the crankcase oil that I drained out of it and the transmission fluid. Try to save a little money on diesel prices. Right now it has biodiesel in it. Since I've owned this car, I have maybe purchased a total of 5 to 6 tankfuls. Other than that, it's run off vegetable oil. Gets real cold, I'll mix it sometimes, but normally don't have to mix it too thin. The car does still have the original block heater. You can see the cord there with the yellow tape around it. I tease people it's an electric car. But anyway, a couple of high mileage awards there. You can see the ice on it, a little bit of snow from last night. Snowed a little bit last night. Got down to 14 degrees. This morning when I got up it was 14.2 degrees. Right now it's just about 25 degrees outside. The car has been sitting all week without being started. Didn't really even drive it last weekend. I think today's Friday, and the last time I started it I believe was Tuesday or Wednesday. So it's been sitting almost 2 weeks without being started up. Been sitting out here in the cold. The only thing that's really been done to this, normally I run injection line heaters. Fattywagons.com make an injection line heater that works really well. Heats the oil up going into the pre-chambers, which is the biggest concern about running waste vegetable oil. People run dual tanks and heaters and everything, and I just run it straight in the stock fuel tank. Injection line heaters will heat up to over 200 degrees. They say optimum temperature for vegetable oil is about 180 degrees, so they do a good job of heating the oil up. I have made a sump heater. Don't have one on this car. Hadn't needed it really. Got a lot of parts and ideas from MercedesSource.com. Kent there's a great guy. The families are great people, and they're willing to help out all they can. Good prices on the products also. I am going to put an aftermarket intake kit and EGR block-off plate on this one. Just got it in today, as a matter of fact. MonsterCraftsman.com. John there makes a great product. Going to put another one on this one, and turn the turbo up a little bit more. Turn the turbo up to about 10 pounds. I'm going to bump it up to about 12 pounds, I think, this time. Don't think I'm going to go any more than that, just because of the mileage. High mileage car, rough around the edges, pretty ugly. I love the car though. You can't beat it. It gets me there. I do keep it well tuned. Keep injection lines, injectors and such clean. I use diesel purge, Lubro Moly diesel purge. Anytime that I change the glow plugs, I ream the pre-chambers out, and that's something that gets neglected. Mercedes Source makes a great reamer. It works great. Never had an issue, never had a problem out of it. We're going to take a look under the hood. Only thing on it right now that's not really stock, have a pre-filter, fuel filter that's aftermarket. It has a cleanable screen instead of just pulling off and throwing it away, so it'll last a lot longer. And the primer pump was changed. I put an aftermarket primer pump. You can see pretty much everything looks stock. The battery, luckily it's held out this long. It's well over 6-7 years old, and it's still going strong. Knock on wood. Let's hope it keeps going a little longer. They're not cheap. Here's a pre-filter that I was talking about. I need to mock up a bracket for it, but the bottom screws off, and there's a filter inside, a little screen filter that cleans off, and you can put it back in there. And normal pre-filters are plastic, and they're about $4 or $5 a piece. And I would have been through at least 10 or 12 of them by now. Paid, I think, $20, $30 for this, so it's paid for itself, already. Saves a lot of time too. You could just unscrew the bowl, clean it off, put it back on, and prime it and go. The primer pump You can see the top of it here. It's a lot bigger than the stock. It's all metal, and it works great. It takes about half as many pumps with this primer pump than it does the stock. The stock design was, it wasn't a great design. They were prone to leaking. Bosch made a new design, but they were easier to use, but the pumps were weak. They weren't strong enough to pump vegetable oil, so had to replace that. Normally I have injection line heaters on the injection lines here, but took them off and swapped them out on another car. So I've got another set I need to put on here also. Let's see what she'll do. Since it has been sitting so long and it has been cold, I'm going to cycle the glow plugs twice. It should start off pretty quick. Like I said, it's been starting good for me lately. Right now, like I said, it's about 25 degrees. And the odometer is reading 347,441 miles. And that is original. The odometer does work. The gauges do work. When I start it up, you'll notice the fuel gauge will come on, and hopefully when it starts, we'll get pretty quick oil pressure. It is doing oil change, but first time I turn the key on, we'll see the glow plug come on, and there's a glow plug. And as you can see, the fuel gauge jumped up. Temperature gauge isn't moving. Glow light's going off. We're going to cycle it one more time, and hopefully it should fire right off, and we should get oil pressure. And see how quick she'll start. Maybe she won't let me down. Here we go. She fired right off. Fired actually pretty quicker than I thought. There we go. Full oil pressure. Fuel gauge is still sitting pretty much bottomed out. She's almost on empty. The light's staying on. She got less than an eighth of a tank, I know. I did redo it, so the light will come on a little sooner. But she runs kind of loud right now. She's not really smoking though. No hard black puffing of smoke like you see a lot of them. Does have a little bit of an exhaust leak. I'm fixing to replace the pipe all the way back. I'm probably going to straight pipe it. When you run waste vegetable oil, it runs a lot quieter. Actually, it sounds almost like a regular car running. But there you go, folks. Like I said, old, half worn out Mercedes. I say half because she's still got plenty of life left. But there you go. Proof that it can be done. Like I said, was a little lucky. This one usually idles pretty rough at just because the rack damper bolt is weak. I need to replace it. I don't mind idling. That's the only thing that it does. Just makes it idle a little rougher than normal. As far as running, doesn't have any effect on it. I'm going to do a quick try of starting it without cycling the glow plug. Usually, if it's above freezing, it should start. It'll take it a while, but it should fire right off. Since it's so cold, I'm just going to try it for the sake of argument. The glow plug's not on, and I'm going to try to start it without letting it cycle. And she started. It took her a minute, but she fired right off. So she runs good. Runs really good. She loves running off waste vegetable oil. Runs smoother, quieter. With me in it and a half a tank of fuel and all the tools I have in the back, it weighs a little over 4,200 pounds. And I still will get 28, 30 miles to a gallon on the highway, and I get every bit of 22 around town. Hopefully, a few modifications, I'll get a little bit better around town. I'll do an update when I do all the modifications, and I'm going to do a little 0 to 60 test and see how well it accelerates for people. They think these things are slow, but this one will actually get up and go pretty good for a boat. But there you have it, folks. Proof that they will start in the cold. It's cold enough I can see my breath, and my hands are actually getting numb now. So can't beat these old cars. I love this. This is my baby. I've thought about selling it, but I just haven't brought myself to it yet. Want to try to at least get 500,000 on it before I get rid of it. The last one I had 780,000 miles and was still going strong. So kind of miss it. But it was a non-turbo, but it still ran strong. Just kind of slow. I decided to keep it turbo. But there you go, folks. Hope you enjoyed the video. Like I said, maybe I'll come back soon and make another one and get everything put on it when it warms up a little bit. Y'all have a good one.